All right. Everything looks good. The players are logging into tabletop. Welcome everybody. This is a top 16 game from Tech Initiative Season 6. And let me just take a second to share the link in the Discord. So what you can see on screen here is the Boba list. Very special list actually. So many one-offs. But let me see here. So quite different to the Manchester one. That's been very popular going around. And this one is rocking Energy Conversion Lab. Not 30 health base. Let me see. Just writing the players. Okay. There we go. Stream is shared. Okay, so now I can take a quick look at the lists. Interesting to see the Lurking Tie in main. I think Kotul is actually playing Traitorous to go to kind of get around that, because it can be really hard to kill in Palp green. There's only damage, right? There's no bounce, but that Traitorous might be in the sideboard. Let's have a look. Yeah, so 2 Traitors in main, 1 inside. We've seen Kotul play this list quite a lot now. He finished 2nd place in last season, and also got 2nd place in the first Tech Initiative Invitational. So that's a great job from Kotul. He's, I would say, a really experienced player on this deck now. If you don't want to see any spoilers on the current standings, then skip a bit into the video, or if you're live, don't look right now, because I'm going to show the bracket. So here we have the bracket. Only 1 top 16 game has been played yet. 2 top 24 games are being played tonight, I believe. And let me see here. Yeah, so Cad Bane actually moving on to top 8. That's very cool to see. I'm gonna be playing Cody on Friday, and Kotul in the first round. Where was that? Yeah, took down the Bosk Yellow, but the game was not streamed or recorded, so I think we can now move into tabletop. And looks like Jarol has already drawn his hand here. But he decides to mulligan. Kotul does not have a ramp, so I think that might be what he's looking for. In general, you would say that Palp is favored into mid-range decks like Boba, but you can draw bad cards. Boba can be able to go quite wide with the flip turn and just push enough damage that Palp never manages to stabilize. So we're gonna see, maybe some overwhelming barrages or something like that can help out. But Kotul starts with the Scanning Officer. It's a very interesting card, really good against tech. And now we see an even more interesting card, Dr. Evazan. That's not a card you see often in Boba lists. I think many people agree it's a bit too punishing when your opponent kills it and they just basically get 2 turns in 1 turn because they get to ready all of their resources. So pretty good top deck from Kotul here, both Ramp and Bounty Hunter's Quarry. Quarry, however, is only good if you can claim it, so going for the Ramp is the obvious line here. And now he's kind of faced with a little bit of an awkward situation, just having to attack into Evazan to get rid of the shield. But I think Jarol is playing some bounce. Looks like he's not playing McClunky, so we're not gonna see that at least. And I guess it's not gonna waylay his own Evazan, so Kotul will just have to try to kill it. And he decides to use sorry. He decides to use Palpatine here to draw a card instead of attack into Evazan for 2 damage. I guess that's fair. Playing the Bounty Hunter's Quarry on Super Laser Technician makes sense because Jarol really wants to make sure that Super Laser Technician is killed. But from Kotul's side, I don't know if I would play the face or the Dark Trooper if Jarol would have passed. Now that he attacked with Super Laser Technician, then it's safe to play it because he knows that Jarol won't be able to kill that. But since he has the resupply in hand, then Kotul kind of gets not punished here, but maybe facing an unexpected turn, and maybe he won't be able to get that Bounty Hunter's Quarry as fast. Okay, Jarol actually opted for ECL in Greedo there. I think he did a small misplay. He should have ECL'd Greedo before deploying Boba Fett, then he could have readied another resource, then attacked with Boba, gone up to 3, even played the Star Viper. Would have been really good, as I mentioned earlier, that you kind of want to go wide against Palp so that the flip won't be as devastating. But already it looks really good for Jarol. Now at least Kotul has a unit that he can kill with Palpatine's ability to claim the Bounty Hunter's Quarry, and hopefully he'll get a Sentinel or something useful there. Kotul's thinking he could also play Cobb Vanth, but he'll still be able to because he will ramp from the Super Laser Technician. So now he's going to look at the top 5 cards of his deck. And he did find a 3-drop. Not that good that it's a unique unit that he also has in hand, but luckily Cobb Vanth has a when defeated ability. So even if he decides to play another Cobb Vanth, he's gonna get some form of value from it. But Cobb Vanth only looks for 2 drops, so he might be able to heal with the Slayer Crumb or Colonel Yularen. But on 17 damage already, it does not look as good for Kotul. He can flip next turn and steal Dr. Evazan, but then Jarol will be able to claim the bounty, and that's maybe not something you would want. So Kotul decided to pass here. I don't really know what he's waiting for. Maybe he's trying to do some form of level 2 play where, or I don't know if that's maybe level 3, where he's acting like he has some response and then trying to bait Jarol into just claiming when he passes. But Jarol has a lot of resources open and a lot of cards to play. So with this board state, 4 units on the board, it does not look good for Kotul. He could barrage for 5 right now, That's only able to kill 2 units. But he's gonna get his resources back, so I think that's still a pretty good line. Get the barrage to kill both Evazan and the spaceship. But he opts for Vader instead. Sentinel unit is probably what he needs in order to survive this turn. But Jarol's hand is really good. Both Overwhelming Barrage to take out Sentinel and Surprise Strike to get in some more damage. So little bit of a mishap there, putting the card from Vader on the bottom. Yeah, so let's think about that. He now removed 4 damage. He's gonna take 4 or 3. If he would have Overwhelming Barraged and killed those 2 units, then I guess he would have been attacked for 4. It still looks really bad, honestly. I don't think that would have helped. And now, interestingly, he does not kill Cobb Vanth. That's a little bit weird, because now he will let Kotul attack Evazan and get all of his resources back. And he might have some good cards he could spend those resources on, right? So I think there I would definitely have used Barrage to kill Cobb Vanth and the Sentinel and not finish off Vader, since it was exhausted regardless. Kotul is going to be able to find a 2-cost that he can play for free from his discard. And Yularen is pretty good. But okay, now we understand why Jarol did what he did. With 6 damage, 6 power on Boba Fett, Surprise Strike is exactly enough to finish the game. So even though maybe it actually was smart to do it that way, because then he baited Kotul into attacking into Evazan and get his resources back. I mean, he still only had 1 resource left, so what could he do? He could maybe play a Crumb or something, so this game was already over. I think the fact that Jarol had 2 sources of ramp was really, really good. And you kind of see why resupply is a bit better than the Super Laser Technician in Boba Green. Because if you play... sorry, I have a question here. Discord, give me 1 sec, I'm just gonna answer something regarding the stream. Alright. Yeah. I don't remember what I was saying. Something about resupply being better than Super Laser Technician. Yeah. Because when you're playing against a Boba with a ready Super Laser Technician on turn 3, you're probably better off not playing a ground unit and just taking the damage and kind of sacrificing not being able to play much, because that Boba flip is just so strong. Like, even though Jarol did a small misplay there, he could have gotten an additional unit out. You saw how it just took over the game. And I think ECL is a very, very good tool when you're playing against Palpatine. The 30 health version of Boba that's been going around is maybe more value oriented, maybe a bit more favored into aggro, but ECL can really give you the tempo you need when you're facing control decks like Palpatine. Alright, let's go into the second round. Kotul opting for resourcing lackeys and a walker. I think those lackeys are actually pretty good. I don't know if they'll be important in this matchup, but we will just have to wait and see. And I think Jarol can be really happy with this 2-drop here. Both Crafty, Smuggler and Greedo would have been so much worse into a Salacious Crumb. So now he's kind of forcing Kotul to just bounce that crumb, I think. Or he could, Kotul could also try to get the initiative here, just playing a super lazy technician and then claiming. I mean, he has the initiative right now, but so he can still maybe go for that line, even if he would bounce crumb. Okay, so he does it the other way around. Quite interesting to see that jarol decided not to kill the crumb there. I think Salacious Peak Crumb is a card that Palpatine can get really a lot of value from. But I guess jarol knows that he needs to put damage on the base, because he's not here for the long game. Really, jarol should be really happy to see the armor. Let's take a quick look here. I don't know if there's any confiscates in the list. Sorry for taking so much time. Okay, so there are 2 confiscates in the side. They probably should have been sideboarded in, because Palpatine, what's Palpatine gonna do with an armor, right? He has only damage-based removal. If you would play blue, you could have some answers to that, but so we missed jarol attacking with the probe droid. No, sorry, Kotul attacking with his super laser technician into the probe droid, and then jarol deployed Boba Fett. And now Kotul will play his second super laser technician, but Boba Fett's armor on jarol's hand is looking pretty scary. The thing is, this flip turn is not the greatest because he doesn't have anything else to play. Yeah, so now Kotul is like, okay, I want to do damage, but actually he can't. So he's just gonna take 6 damage to the base probably every turn now. But Salacious Crumb is back, at least healing a little bit. And now, yeah, we really see how awkward jarol's hand is, with no units to play. That could be what Kotul needed to have a chance in this game. But still, I think he's in a pretty bad spot with no answers for the armor. Sentinel units are kind of answers, but jarol has some overwhelming barrages to take care of those. So 6 damage going to the base, as per usual. And this Vader looks so much worse now, only being able to deal 3 damage to that Boba. At least it survives, so it can give some value back, pressure the base, or trade with some other units later. But probably Kotul just wants to find a Sentinel unit here. Yularen, yeah, he's not villainy, that's true, yeah. I was thinking like Yularen could be a good option, because with bouncing Crumb so many times, then he's probably something that has to be respected. Oh, sorry, I have an issue with my webcam here. I'm gonna fix that in a second, but Kotul decided to bring in the, what's it called? Black Sun Starfighter. And I think that's a really good choice, because jarol is on 6 resources, and Fett's Fire Spray is of course a very telegraphed play you should expect coming from Boba Fett. Okay, looks like webcam is back online. Overwhelming Barrage, dealing 8 damage now. That's gonna be enough to clear the whole board. And not really seeing much on Kotul's side here. I think the only answer he could have to armor right now, except for Confiscate, would be like a Devastator. Just dealing a lot of damage to it. Enough damage to it. Alright, here comes another huge power play you can see in Boba Fett Green. the fact that you can ambush with Maul and put the damage on Boba. He actually did not put the damage on Boba, which is a really big mistake, because now Maul just got stolen. So I think even though he I mean, he's still in a great position here. Kotul kind of has to present a sentinel or claim not to die immediately. But he now has a really good barrage target, that's true. So he could barrage for 9, that's enough to kill Boba. I think... okay, he's taking a look at the discard pile here, thinking it through. I still think that Jarol should have put the damage from Maul on Boba, because the armor still reduces that damage. So Boba would have only taken 1 more damage, putting him from 6 to 5, which doesn't really matter here, right? Because with the Palp flip and the barrage, that's 6, so he would have survived. Interesting to see the Sentinel coming out. So I guess Kotul is going to start dealing some damage to that Boba. And right now, it looks like the game might not be over, as I thought it was, after that armor. So the Maul could have still been stolen if he put the damage on Boba, because Kotul could have played a unit and sacrificed it with Palp, but the only unit he had was the Sentinel there, so this turned out to be more close than we thought. So 2 barrages now on Kotul's side. They are pretty good to answer fire spray as well, so I think he's in a little bit better spot now. Still no Devastator though to close out the game, but I would say he doesn't really need it anymore. So 8 damage is exactly enough to kill both the Royal Guard and Maul. And that means no Sentinel on Kotul's side, 8 damage on that Boba Fett, and that's GG. Damn, I should have seen that one earlier. But damn, Boba Green just smashing his way through. Good games from both players. And we can jump back to the bracket. Just spoiler warning, if you haven't seen any games yet and you don't want to know the results, leave now, but otherwise, here it is. Let me put it up on my main screen, there we go. Yeah, so Jarol, first seed, moving on to meet either a Han Green, played by a Sip, or a Sabine, by Erof. I don't know. Boba is a mid-range deck. I don't have much experience in those matchups, but I think Jarol is looking pretty good here. But that's it for the stream. Make sure to tune in tonight. Let me think. I'm So Humble is going to play against Humar. I'm going to stream that game at 19, so at 7 Central European Time, or that's 5 Universal Time, UTC. So without further ado, let's end the stream there, and thanks for